What is the difference between map and flat map? So map and flat map of transformations operations which are used on your RDDs or data frames. So what does map do and what does the flat map does. So let's start with map, right? So what map does is the map function transforms each element of an RDD or data frame into a new element by passing a specific function to it. So for example, you have a data frame which you have, let's say a data frame has some data, let's say numbers like this 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Now, what map does is if you are using map, so what map does is it passes for each of this element, it basically passes a function. Look, for example, you are trying to do a square of this number. So now what map does is the square of function will be gone to every element. So it will be one square, then you have two square, then you have three square, then you have four square. So the output will be here. The output of this like 1, 4, 9, 16, right? So this is what map does. So if you observe here, the input we have four elements, the output also we have four elements. So map basically applies the function to each element. The same input number of elements will be same. The if you have four input elements, you will have four output elements, right? So this is what a map does. Contrary, on the other hand, flat map. So if you have, let's say you have 10 numbers or 10 elements, it's not guaranteed that you will have the same number of elements coming as output. So that is basically your flat maps. The output can have any number of elements compared to the input because each element can be mapped to zero or more output elements, right? So a flat map can produce multiple output elements for each input element. So it also transforms the data. Similar to map, flat map also transforms the data, but the difference is that you can have more than one output for each element. Okay, so map is a one-to-one relationship between the input and output, whereas flat map has one-to-many relationships. So if this is a basic difference. So let's also look at an example here. Here we are reading the Spark application and we have a RDD here. So basically, five elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here, what we are trying to do is we are passing the map, we are calling the map, and here we are passing a function. So the function is basically num into num. Basically, what we are doing is we are squaring the elements. So one each element it will be multiplied by itself, like 1 into 1, 2 into 2, 3 into 3, 4 into 4, and 5 into 5. And then we are printing this, right? So that is what map is. Flat map here, we have this statement or we have a certain sentences. We have three sentences right here, strings. And what we are doing is we are adding a flat map. So this is a function that we are passing it. So we are splitting it. So now hello world, it gets split. Apache Spark is great, it gets split. Flat map versus map, it will get split and then we are printing it. So observe that here we have five elements. So your output will also be five, but here the output will be different. Number of elements will differ. So that's a basic difference. So if I execute this here, I should show you the, let's see, the output, right? So this is the output of the map. So you can see here, we are squaring the number 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. That's a square of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 respectively, right? And you can see the flat map here, right? So flat map, hello world, it's split into hello and world. Apache Spark grid again is split into different. So you can see the number of elements that we passed here was three, but then here we ended up having more than three elements. So that is basically the one to many relationship that I talked about. So this is a basic difference Map and flat map. Map, you do one-to-one relationship. Flat map, you can do a one-to-many relationship, right? So that's all about flat map and flat map. I hope this was helpful to you guys, and I'll see you guys again in the next session.